Well, it looks like we've got a little bit of technical issues going on tonight. So we will figure those out when the broadcast is over. It looks like we're not broadcasting live to Facebook. Tonight, we're going to talk about emotional wellness and what that means as we're confronted with some of the most divisive rhetoric, disinformation, media reporting, and corruption in the world today, especially on social media. What can we do to ensure our emotional wellness is protected and preserved, maybe even boosted during these coming weeks? So we're going to talk about that when we come back. And we are back. 3 years ago, a Russian controlled terrorist was installed in the Oval Office here in the United States. And despite the fact that he lost the popular vote, for many, I would say unequivocally, except for those whose moral compass and intellectual capacity to recognize the dangerous, racist, sexist, homophobic, and nationalist rhetoric that marked the Moscovian candidate's presidential campaign, it was a time of concern. Like I said, except for those whose idolatry of their preachers and their churches, their religious superstitions and gross misinterpretation of their scriptures take precedence over compassion, kindness, social justice, and indeed human decency. For the rest of us, we began a 3.5 year descent into some of the most difficult and painful and dangerous times physically, intellectually, and most importantly, emotionally, that I think any of us have ever experienced before, and maybe will ever experience in our lives. People that we love were exposed as morally bankrupt, intolerant, racist pieces of shit. Some of us were disowned by those that we love, all because of their love for their political party and their idolization of the Mango Menace over their own blood. Friendships were ended, severely strained at the very least, and in many cases, other problems with careers and social circles and everything else began to become everyday experiences. And the frustration for me personally of watching the U.S. Republic deteriorate to the point that it is presently almost unrecognizable has been unbearable at times. Well, as many of you know, this week, Donald J. Trump, Putin's lapdog and the third president of the United States to have been permanently and indelibly impeached for just a scant few of the high crimes and misdemeanors that bastard committed against this country, will stand trial for his offenses. Now, few of us believe that the trial will even remotely resemble impartial justice, as the controlling party has already given its word that they'll never be impartial, they'll never be fair, and that they're working in tandem and lockstep with the accused. Well, guys, emotional wellness is our ability to successfully handle life's stress and to adapt in difficult times, to adapt when it feels like we can't. And the National Institutes of Health offer ways that each one of us can keep our emotional health in check during such difficult times. Now, these include taking time to brighten our outlook, as they call it, by considering spending more time with those that we love and those that we trust, forgiving ourselves, recommitting ourselves to living richer, fuller, happier lives by improving and paying closer attention to our self-care. They recommend reducing stress by getting enough sleep, taking enough time to exercise, considering formulating a plan for stress reduction, which could include relaxation techniques, finding somebody you can talk to, yoga, meditation, taking a walk in one of your favorite environments, spending time reading something that lifts you up. And I certainly recommend, among all of this, especially in these next 2 weeks, taking a break from social media, television, and your cell phone, especially during the trial. Incorporate periods of mindfulness. Take breaks and stretch and breathe and make sure you're eating and staying hydrated. Follow your breath mindfully. Eat mindfully. Don't eat in front of the television or with a newspaper in your hands. Just take time to kind of nurture yourself. Maybe connect with a spiritual or social group that supports a healthy outlook on life. And the NIH also recommends allowing ourselves space to grieve. It's possible that we're going to see these gross injustices carried out by the Kremlin-controlled GOP during the trial go to an even higher level than we've seen in the past. Grieving the death of the Republic will be difficult at best. But our resolution as a people to overcome such ruthless totalitarianism as the Trump cabal has this nightmare that they've inflicted upon us. Well, our resolution as a people, our strength as a republic, tells me that we'll ultimately prevail, and they'll be destroyed along with the morally bankrupt vermin who support him. And most importantly, I think it's important to remember that you and I are infinitely powerful, the authors of our experiences, and the most magical creatures in the universe, no less than the trees and the stars, as Max Ehrmann would say in his poem Desiderata in 1927. And with this in mind, I'd like to let all of the participants in our Living the Six Dimensions of Wellness movement know that, first of all, I am really sorry that we weren't able to broadcast this live on Facebook. I'm not really sure what happened, but I will make sure that it gets up there tonight. And I want to let you know that I'm going to be taking some time during the Senate trials to focus my intention and my energies on creating the kind of outcomes magically that allow justice and truth to prevail, while giving myself time and space to nurture and preserve my own emotional, spiritual, and intellectual well-being during a week or two of possible energetic chaos and terrorism. And that means that while I continue to share thoughts with you guys each and every day, focusing on another aspect of the six dimensions of wellness, and as I continue to encourage you to follow along, I'm not going to be as active doing these live presentations in the group during the next 7 to 10 days or however long this trial lasts. So for many of you, this is going to represent an opportunity to overcome the challenges of falling behind in our daily programming. You can use the next 2 weeks to catch up on the live broadcast that you've missed. For others, I think it might be a good thing if you're one of the small handful of folks who actually do keep up with our daily work, who are committed to the process, then you're likely also somebody who, for whom the coming weeks are going to be emotionally challenging, spiritually challenging, and intellectually challenging. So, maybe feel free to journal, journal about it if it helps. More importantly, take time to be gentle with yourselves, as I'm going to be doing. Maybe consider starting each day by sweeping your home, opening the windows, even if only for a moment, no matter how cold it is. Open those windows and allow all that is negative out and draw in the fresh air of what we call an aggiornamento, a renewal of the energies to fill your home and to fill your life. And we always ask that you like and subscribe to our channel, and this is no different. I always try to remember to do that in the beginning, and tonight I got a little sidetracked by the Facebook not working. So I'm going to ask even more sincerely than ever before, even more importantly than ever before, that you consider sharing this material with those that you think could benefit from it. We're going to get through this trial as a country, as allies around the world, and as humanity. The evil that has befallen the Oval Office will be destroyed, one way or the other. I promise you that much. And as we return to the present moment, grateful for all that we have now, we open the doors to the abbondanza, the abundance that waits for each and every one of us with every stroke of the pen that we use to write the story of our lives. And so I just want you each to know that I love and support you. I appreciate you, and I'm with you through this all. And I promise you that as we come together as a community, as a movement, and raise our consciousness around this, recognizing that we will prevail in the face of lies and social injustice, even if this trial is less than fair, we will prevail ultimately. And I promise you one thing, my friends, the best is yet to come. We'll talk to you soon.